We pay the highest taxes in California. Our fire hydrants are empty. Our vegetation was overgrown, brush not cleared. Our reservoirs are emptied by our governor because the tribal leaders wanted to save fish. Unbelievable. Our fire department budget was cut by a mayor, but thank God drug addicts are getting the drug kits. Unbelievable. At Mayor of LA, at Gavin Newsom, resign. Your far left policies have ruined our state and also our party. Sarah Foster. So look at this, guys. Gavin Newsom, he's asking Joe Biden to focus on combating misinformation about the wildfires in California. And that's what he wants to prioritize as his state is currently burning down to the ground. He's worried about how this looks, not fixing the problem.
It infects real
Unbelievable.
people.
Check this out.
I ask you, we've got to deal with this misinformation. There were hurricane force winds of mis and disinformation, lies. People want to divide this country, and we're going to have to address that as well. And it breaks my heart as people are suffering and struggling that we're up against those hurricane forces as well. And that's just a point of personal privilege that I share that with you because it infects real people that are out there, people I meet every single day, people the mayor's been meeting with, and they're having conversations that are not the typical conversations you'd have at this time. And you wonder where this stuff comes from. And it's very damaging as well. But we're here to get the job done.
It's very sad because I've been trying to get Gavin Newsom to allow water to come. You'd have tremendous water up there. They send it out to the Pacific because they're trying to protect a tiny little fish, which is in other areas, by the way, called the smelt.
We're getting an alert again. There goes ABC 7. LA County Office of Emergency Management, fast-moving wildfire in your area. Evacuation order has been issued.
And this really begs the question, like, why does Gavin Newsom hate California so much? I mean, there's got to be a reason for this, guys, right?
Governor, you got a second? Governor, I live here, Governor. That was my daughter's school, Governor. Please tell me what you're going to do.
Wow.
I'm not going to hurt him, I promise.
I'm literally talking to the president right now.
I'm sorry. This guy's a joke. He's so worried about how this looks rather than actually helping the people and preventing the problem to begin with. Absolute joke. Anyway, guys, number one, I want to say thanks so much for being here. Thanks for hitting the like button and subscribing. We got lots to talk about today. Wow. Wow. Look at this woman. Look at this woman. She was out on vacation while California is burning down to the ground. Out on vacation. Sky News caught her getting off the plane while Los Angeles is burning down to the ground, and she had nothing to say for herself. Just unbelievable. Would you vote for her again? And it really makes you wonder, like, why was she voted in to begin with?
What explains this lack of preparation and rapid response?
I think the focus of all of us here with one voice is that we have to protect lives, we have to save lives, and we have to save homes.
Is that answering the question?
Rest assured that
But that did not happen.
But can you address the criticism now over the budget issue and the slashing, $17 million
You know,
slashing
I think
of the budget?
there were no reductions that were made that would have impacted the situation.
Really? This is a clear lack of accountability, guys. She over here talking about how $17 million cut to the budget had no impact to what the residents of California, Pasadena, the Palisades, Hollywood has experienced so far. This is pure bull. No one's believing this. What's up with this lady with the purple hair in the background? Like, is that a cool look, or did she like go to the beauty salon and ask for a color, and the person didn't know really what they were doing and gave her some off color? Anyway, not to get too distracted, but in a very dramatic moment, guys, what we just saw, that was a mother confronting Governor Gavin Newsom, pleading for answers after her daughter's school was clearly severely impacted. And she demanded to know why the freaking fire hydrants didn't have any water during this emergency. And we saw Gavin Newsom. He promised improvement. And then he gaslit us, basically saying he's on the phone with President Joe Biden. Sure. Yeah, part of that almost made me feel like, is this really happening? Or is this like almost felt like it was staged. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. You guys let me know. Maybe it's me, guys, but let me know. Maybe I'm off base. Should Gavin Newsom pull a Justin Trudeau and just go ahead and resign already? Let me know what you guys think. Type resign if you think Gavin Newsom should just resign, or let me know, do this. Type resign if you think Gavin Newsom should resign, or if you think he should stay because he's a great governor, go ahead and type stay and let him keep his cushy job. Let me know, guys. But anyway, this is beyond acceptable.
People are angry, and they want answers, and they're saying, what are we paying taxes for? DEI and fighting President Trump, or universal legal expenses for illegal immigrants? And this is not about stopping Mother Nature. This is about wanting the people in charge, the governor, lawmakers, and mayors, asking them what did they do or did not do about this situation to mitigate the problem beforehand or respond to it later. So listen to this woman confronting Governor Newsom.
Wow. So California Governor Gavin Newsom, let's not forget about LA, Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass. They're getting destroyed right now, basically for their handling of this recent disaster here. And people are pissed. People are frustrated. Officials have denied the rumors that taxpayers were asking. Like, why are there taxpayer dollars being spent on DEI initiatives, diversity initiatives? And also, let's not forget about aiding undocumented migrants rather than focusing on preparing for disaster preparedness like the wildfires that are raging all over major cities in California right now. And so obviously the anger, and rightfully so, the anger also is flaring over the perceived lack of action before and during the crisis. Like, what are they doing right now? Gavin Newsom's messing around. I mean, like, this is ridiculous. Like, isn't it just asinine that they're trying to blame this on climate change? Oh, yeah. And I will bet you guys, I bet you $100 that Gavin Newsom was not really talking to the president. Let me know what y'all think. Was Gavin Newsom really talking to the president?
That was my daughter's school, Governor. Please tell me what you're going to do. I'm not going to hurt him, I promise.
I'm literally talking to the president right now to specifically answer the question of what we can do for you and your daughter.
Why was there no water in the hydrants, Governor?
That's all literally.
Is it going to be different next time?
It has to be.
I would fill up the hydrants myself.
I understand.
But would you do that?
I would do whatever I can.
But you're not.
Dude, man, I'm sorry. Gavin Newsom just straight up gaslit this poor woman right on live television, guys. I mean, this is beyond asinine. Again, I bet $100 Gavin Newsom was not talking to the president. Y'all let me know. Type 1 if you think he was really talking to the president. Type 2 if you're calling Gavin's bluff on that.
Also taking heat, Mayor Karen Bass, who abandoned the city for Africa 2 days after the National Weather Service forecast record Santa Ana winds.
Apparently, there was a suspect accused of starting the 900-plus acre wildfire, which is still going on. Los Angeles residents actually caught the suspect. He allegedly was caught in the attempt to start some fires.
Adam is transferring. Incident command, Commander 21, Boyd. That's going to be at 5495 A Rosa and 11 at the church. Is that correct?
Yeah, well, there's an argument about that. But, finally, some real absurdity. Look here. Twice the county sent out evacuation alerts by mistake to thousands of Angelenos and then apologized by tweet and later by another alert. Point is, people here, you guys, are on pins and needles. They're nervous. When your phone goes off with an alert telling you to leave, it's stressful. Then they tell you, oh, that was a mistake. People are angry. Like I said, it's emblematic.
And they should be angry because for multiple reasons. Number one, think about it. You get an Amber Alert. If it tells you to evacuate and leave, of course you're going to think, oh my God, I got to drop everything and leave, because we're already seeing about the fires, the wildfires all over the news, all over the internet. The videos are going viral talking about this, right? And we're seeing like hundreds of acres of thousands of acreage being just burned up by these wildfires, right? And these fires are moving quickly. They're consuming homes and melting cars and whatnot, right? And then they send out another alert saying, "Oh, my bad, never mind. Don't worry about that first one." And so now think about it. Imagine you're one of the residents out there. You're thinking to yourself, "Well, crap. I don't know if I can trust this second alert telling me not to worry about it. Maybe I should be worrying about it," right? It all it did was create an additional layer of anxiety for everyone involved. And if they're able to accidentally send out a mistaken Amber Alert the first time, who's to say that you can trust the one that says, "Oh no, you're good, don't worry about it"?
Problematic of a situation people are kind of waking up to, that this isn't working for them.
So, and let's not forget about the controversy from Mayor Karen Bass leaving the country for Africa despite warnings of record-breaking Santa Ana winds. Now, we've seen this pattern before. Whenever there's lots of high winds in California during the dry spell, there's usually a lot of fires, right? And she ignored it. Gavin Newsom ignored it. Trump advised Gavin Newsom to let the northern water run down to Southern California to provide ample water for the water reservoir. Did he take heed? No, he ignored it. And so Karen, it's a perfect name for her, right? Karen Bass, LA's mayor, basically her absence on top of all the missteps, like the false evacuation alerts sent to thousands of people, all it did was make the public distrust and the stress about this crisis even worse, right? I'm like, why do people keep voting for people like this, right? Like, stop putting people in charge who have no business being in charge of anything. There's no accountability here, guys.
Back to you.
Yeah, it creates a lot of distrust. William, thank you. Julie, that footage of the reporter, who is also a mother, confronting her governor was really interesting. Something to see.
That woman has gone viral, and for very good reason, because she is representing thousands of Californians who want to say the exact same thing to their governor.
Man, this is just freaking tragic. And I mean, and so it makes you just wonder, why does Gavin Newsom hate California so much? Like, it doesn't make any sense. And people keep voting this guy back in office to be governor of the state of California. Like, somebody help me make some sense of this. I don't understand.
Why are we in this position? Why are we so concerned about housing illegal immigrants and, protecting sanctuary cities and DEI when this city, Los Angeles, and all the surrounding areas have not been prepared properly for this? And I feel so sorry for all the residents. And it's not just the rich. As Jonathan Hunt pointed out earlier, there are the middle class. This is a reality, a wake-up moment for the state of California, and certainly for the Democrats that are running that place.
And there seems to be a bit of a shell game going on. I want to play this clip from Governor Gavin Newsom. When asked, he points to local government. Watch this.
Now, before we watch this clip from Gavin Newsom, she mentioned the middle class and the rich, right? The rich will likely be okay, right? More than likely, they have, insurance policies, or maybe they have enough, wealth, cash, whatever, to absorb the losses that they may have absorbed as a result of their real estate being wiped out if they're not insured, right? But the middle class, guys, how are some of these people going to recover from this, right? The middle class, the average homeowner, the average American's greatest asset in terms of their net worth is their house. So if their house is wiped out and they got no insurance policy, they're freaking done. They're wiped out. So the situation really just it definitely highlights the greater systemic issues that California is ignoring with regard to their disaster management. I mean, people are arguing, Gavin Newsom's decisions, such as reducing inmate firefighting programs and failing to improve emergency services, it's only worsening the state's ability to prevent and or respond to these disasters. And of course, he doesn't want these all of this northern water to come down, because he's trying to protect these rare fish called, I think they're smelt or something like that. He's trying to protect fish. Meanwhile, folks are dying out here. Homes are getting burned up. Businesses are getting burned up. Cars are melting. I mean, you can't even breathe the air right now. I mean, so these failures, along with the miscommunication, all we see is like these unqualified Democratic leaders finger pointing at other local officials, and all we're seeing is further additional damages, and just we're watching the public confidence in local officials and authorities just continue to go down.
What is the situation with the water? Obviously, in Palisades, it ran out last night in the hydrants. I was talking to the firefighter on this block. They left because there was no water in the hydrant here.
Anderson Cooper here.
Local folks are trying to figure that out. I mean, those hydrants are typical for 2 or 3 fires, maybe 1 fire. You have something at this scale, but again, that's going to be determined by the local.
Guys,
Wow. That's what I'm talking about, guys. This is exactly what I'm talking about. There's no accountability. There's finger pointing. And for those who don't understand what I'm saying here, this is a great example. Gavin Newsom, he was interviewed just now on site with a house burning right behind him by Anderson Cooper from CNN. And Gavin Newsom's like, hey, basically it's not my fault. Don't blame me. Talk to the local fire departments, talk to the local government in this area. Don't talk to me. It's like, dude, why are you here? Why are you here making California worse? As the governor, you're supposed to govern all of the other cities and counties in your state. All of it's your responsibility.
so that was Wednesday. Look, maybe he had just gotten to the scene, but I just can't imagine Governor DeSantis, who has handled hurricanes so brilliantly, saying, oh, well, that's the local government.
Dang, yo, she brought up a very good point. Because think about it. Governor Ron DeSantis, he had 2 major hurricanes just in 2024 alone. Okay. And there was no finger pointing. In fact, when Kamala Harris tried to reach him for publicity purposes only, he called her out. First of all, Ron DeSantis called out Kamala Harris and basically said, hey, you ain't never called me in the last 4 years. Why are you calling me now in the middle of your presidential election? Right. So there was never any previous concern for previous hurricanes and natural disasters that were coming through Florida. So it was very clear and evident. It was on display that Kamala Harris was only calling Ron DeSantis to act like she was there to help when all she wanted to do was get another PR shot. But if you think about how Florida handled their natural disaster and you compare it with how California's Governor Gavin Newsom is managing this one, it's night and day difference. In fact, Ron DeSantis, he was like, look, I don't need your help. We're down here working on the problem right now. I can't take your call because I'm busy working on this thing. Now, I think later on, Joe Biden ended up sending some federal resources toward Florida. But the thing is Ron DeSantis didn't waste time and piss off the residents of Florida with excessive finger pointing. He was more about addressing the problem at hand and getting down to business. And so compare Ron DeSantis versus Governor Gavin Newsom. Y'all let me know who you think is more qualified for handling natural disasters, problems, and servicing the customer, which is the taxpayers of the state. Y'all let me know.
If you watch that clip, which we just did, as soon as the question is over from Anderson Cooper, the governor of California literally throws his hands up. Not figuratively throwing his hands up at a question. He literally throws his hands up and says, ask the locals.
Yeah, he literally was like, hey, talk to the local people. You can't make this up.
That would be a very frustrating answer or non-answer, I think, to a lot of Californians. And then you think about the mayor, who was out of country for so long.
She was on vacation.
Then comes back, one mistake after another, the misfire emergency alerts. Yikes.
Look at this Bank of America. They didn't burn down the bank. The ATMs are smoldering. I mean, look at this scene. This is such an apocalyptic scene. This is This is like out of some kind of movie. I'm expecting like zombies to come walking down the street here, or come zombies coming through the torched frame that remains of the Bank of America establishment. Crazy, guys.
Yeah, Harris.
Yeah, well, the emergency alert system was what I was talking about moments after our newscast started, and that is that the citizens were being chided at that news conference for not having their notifications on their cell phones. But if the information isn't something that you can trust anymore, that's a frustrating situation for people. So it's, they have Silicon Valley just a few hundred miles north. They should go up there and get somebody to come down and clean up their communications so they can do what they really need to do.
Like, how much I want to bet if Elon Musk was handling this, we wouldn't have had this problem with the emergency alert system. Think Elon Musk. Imagine he integrates his Starlink technology into the emergency alert system. You think Elon Musk's going to have some fake alerts going out by accident? I don't think so. I really don't think so. So now I'm like, okay, how much are y'all spending on these emergency alerts? Because there's a dollar cost with everything, guys. Who are you paying for these emergency alert systems? Did you hire one of your buddies and send them one of those multi-billion dollar contracts to handle and manage the emergency alert systems, only to be unreliable? You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, we already saw what kind of money management the Kamala Harris campaign had, with over $1 billion and still losing the election. I mean, this, because and that was monitored on a big scale. State budgets, they're not monitored as closely as this election spend was. So I would be willing to venture to guess that the amount of waste that's coming out of California could be just alarming if people were to actually do an audit, look into the books, look into the services that are being paid for and the level of service that's being provided by the companies and businesses that they've hired to execute on the tasks.
And at another time, I'll give you Karen Bass's timeline. It's fascinating.
Emily.
The most prescient point that mother made was what's going to happen next time. Because the reality is it's a pattern there in California. More than half of the largest wildfires in state history, of the largest 20, have occurred in the last 5 years. And so for her to go up to Gavin Newsom, who is the governor of the whole state, and Northern California just went through this, as I described, up to 30% of the wildland firefighting force there in the state of California is often the incarcerated. And yet Gavin Newsom chose to reduce that program. So there's been a million decisions along the way by him that have had direct impact, not only on the prevention, on also the collaboration with PG&E, so the regulations and the regulatory structure there, people's insurance, the power outage, the water, the resupply, the firefighters, the wildland resources, and then now how you handle emergency messaging services, and then the rebuild.
Yeah, well, there's an argument about that. But, finally, some real absurdity. Look here. Twice the county sent out evacuation alerts by mistake to thousands of Angelenos and then apologized by tweet and later by another alert. Point is, people here, you guys, are on pins and needles. They're nervous. When your phone goes off with an alert telling you to leave, it's stressful. Then they tell you, oh, that was a mistake. People are angry. Like I said, it's emblematic.
And they should be angry because for multiple reasons. Number one, think about it. You get an Amber Alert. If it tells you to evacuate and leave, of course you're going to think, oh my God, I got to drop everything and leave, because we're already seeing about the fires, the wildfires all over the news, all over the internet. The videos are going viral talking about this, right? And we're seeing like hundreds of acres thousands of acreage being just burned up by these wildfires, right? And these fires are moving quickly. They're consuming homes and melting cars and whatnot, right? And then they send out another alert saying, oh, my bad, never mind. Don't worry about that first one. And so now think about it. Imagine you're one of the residents out there. You're thinking to yourself, well, crap. I don't know if I can trust this second alert telling me not to worry about it. Maybe I should be worrying about it, right? All it did was create an additional layer of anxiety for everyone involved. And if they're able to accidentally send out a mistaken Amber Alert the first time, who's to say that you can trust the one that says, oh no, you're good, don't worry about it?
Emblematic of a situation people are kind of waking up to, that this isn't working for them.
So, and let's not forget about the controversy from Mayor Karen Bass leaving the country for Africa despite warnings of record-breaking Santa Ana winds. Now, we've seen this pattern before. Whenever there's lots of high winds in California during the dry spell, there's usually a lot of fires, right? And she ignored it. Gavin Newsom ignored it. Trump advised Gavin Newsom to let the northern water run down to Southern California to provide ample water for the water reservoir. Did he take heed? No, he ignored it. And so Karen, it's a perfect name for her, right? Karen Bass, LA's mayor, basically her absence on top of all the missteps, like the false evacuation alerts sent to thousands of people, all it did was make the public distrust and the stress about this crisis even worse, right? I'm like, why do people keep voting for people like this, right? Like, stop putting people in charge who have no business being in charge of anything. There's no accountability here, guys.
Back to you.
Yeah, it creates a lot of distrust. William, thank you. Julie, that footage of the reporter who is also a mother confronting her governor was really interesting. Something to see.
That woman has gone viral, and for very good reason, because she is representing thousands of Californians who want to say the exact same thing to their governor.
This is horrible. This is hard. But I do want to ask you guys, what do you think about this color? It's like a kiwi green. I think it's a beautiful color. Anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I got a lot more content for you guys coming up. Check out our previous videos, and we'll see you guys on the next one.